OK, let's take more on that story that's broken in the past 90 minutes or so. India saying it will block BlackBerry phones' email and messaging services unless security services are given access to the information. It is yet another headache for the manufacturer. Research in Motion, the Canadian company, who have already been in talks with Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates about security. The Indian government has given BlackBerry until the end of August to come up with a solution. Joining us now is our technology reporter Daniel Emery. Dan, is the point here that if you have, well, what I have, which is an iPhone, it goes to there, my email goes there via another point? With BlackBerry, it goes straight to the device?
Well, almost. I mean, it's not been a great month for BlackBerry. You're pretty much on the mark. If I have a BlackBerry phone, smartphone, and I'm in, say, Saudi Arabia, and I want to send a message, it doesn't go to a server within the country. It basically goes to Canada, and then it goes from Canada to whoever I'm sending it to. In addition to that, they use a system called encryption, which is basically like scrambling, and it's 128-bit, which in layman's terms means it's almost impossible to crack. So even if you intercepted that communication, you would have no way of unscrambling it and finding out what's in that message. What the issue is, both with Saudi Arabia, the UAE, the Indian government, Lebanon, many countries, is they want access to that. They want to be able to know if you're sending an instant message, or in the case of India, checking your email as well, they want to be able to get in if they need to and have a look at what you're sending and what you're saying. And they say, obviously, it's for security reasons, and that's kind of how it is. The issue that RIM have is they have to find a trade-off between keeping governments happy for security issues and maintaining their agreement they have with their users that your data is secure and safe and no one can get into it.
So if you're Mr. BlackBerry and you want to go down that cul-de-sac of how do we stay in business in India or Saudi or the United Arab Emirates, what's the accommodation that you're prepared to make with the government?
Well, interesting you should say that. In Saudi Arabia were going to turn services off last week, and then they've reached a temporary postponement. What they're looking at is setting a local server up in the country. So if I send my data from this phone, rather than it going to Canada, it would go to the Saudi Arabia server and then get bounced somewhere else, and that could potentially allow the Saudi government to have access to that to see what's going on. There's a lot of speculation because both RIM and the governments tend to be quite cagey about what they tell us is going on.
As far as the governments are concerned, are they working here with a supposition which is bad people use BlackBerries because they're terribly secure? Or, to ask the question another way, if I'm in India on an iPhone or a Nokia or an Ericsson smartphone or whatever, should I therefore assume, if I'm a bad person or not, that if I don't have a BlackBerry, the government is looking at my texting and my emails anyway?
That's probably quite likely. Again, knowing exactly what they do is quite hard because they don't say, yes, we're intercepting that, this is how they do it, because that would then allow people to work out other ways of getting around it. But it's interesting that BlackBerry seem to be in the firing line right now from a lot of different countries, and we've not heard any mention of any other smartphone manufacturers at the moment.
Daniel, thank you for that. Talk to you later. Ceremonies have been held